everyone, welcome back to our channel. Thanks for joining us again and taking time to sit and view us having a rant on about various subjects every other week. Yeah, we really appreciate it, and thanks for coming back as you do. On that note, I think we're going to get on to into a couple of subjects today. Jen's decided to choose one and I've decided to choose the other, so you know it's pretty variable. And I'm going to start on the subject of parenting and parenting teenagers, because it is quite hard, and as a mother of 4 children who's come through it all, and Jenny the same. Have you got more than 4? No, 4 each. So yeah, so we've been there, we've done it. We can sort of, you know, I want to
and wear the t-shirt.
And wear the t-shirt, yeah. Yeah, it's they are hard times, and you know, I really want to discuss, like, probably from 14, Jen, and I know teenagers typically start obviously at 13, but I'm going to move right on to a 14-year-old, whether it be a boy or a girl, and the immaturity versus maturity later on. And so I do think from 14 a lot of kids' hormones are changing in the body, and things are starting to happen, and it's very confusing for them as well. But as a parent, you have to take that on board and acknowledge everything that's going on with them. And they get stroppy and moody, and I think they turn back to a 2-year-old child throwing his rattle out of his cot, you know.
It's like a woman going through menopause, when they're going through like the changes in it. When they started to,
everything changes. That the norm is not the norm anymore. It's because them becoming out of being that little child that you've brought up and taught things to they're coming into their own. And so it does get quite frustrating for them, and you get the typical stroppy teenager that's, do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? And I do think that's part of their growing up. You have to understand them and take a bit of time to what's the word? Come together with them, and you know, I mean, I know a lot of it is is quite hard.
Sometimes they'll ask some awkward. I don't know if you have this part. Some kids will ask some awkward question, like where this come from, where that come from. I don't know about you, but do your kids ever ask you where?
Well, I can remember
where baby comes from, or things like that.
But I do remember that came at an earlier age than a teenager, because I think now they've probably been learnt all that in their schools and education, and I think that was probably around 11, you know, when they started to notice, and where's this and where's that. But I mean, today there's a lot more far advanced teaching, and a lot of kids know these things at flipping 7 now, probably.
Yeah, I think that as mothers we should really be upfront. I know that I am one of the guilty one, where I sort of shy in telling my kids certain things. But I think that if I should go all over again, I would be more upfront with them and tell them what's what, because especially with girls, you got to, you know, sit your daughter down and let her know about periods and things like that. And I know that with me, I am one of the guilty ones. I wait until it's late, then I sort of explain it to
when
my
you
girls.
Have to, like,
But I think that, you know, when kids going through, especially when they're going through adolescence, and they have all sorts of things going in their head, I think sometimes they don't understand. Their body going through changes, they don't understand. So therefore, it's us as parents to sort of explain to them and says, right, you sometimes, especially when they're going through puberty, you got to explain a lot and tell them. But we as parents, for instance, I know back in the days, our parents used to say that baby come from plane, the plane come to letterbox and things like that. Come on now.
Yeah.
We are living in a modern time now where we should be able to explain to our children. We shouldn't be hiding and things like that. But I'm one of the guilty one. I remember once Rommel asked me a question and I can't remember what it was, but when I said something to him, he says, "Mom, I already know that from school." And I thought, wait a minute. If they're telling him this in school, why am I shy to explain it to my kids?
Yeah.
If he actually learning it in school.
Exactly. And I'm
So why am I shy?
At a younger age.
It's not that you don't want to tell them, but you don't know how to put the words together to just let them know certain things. Because you in your head, you're thinking that, oh, he or she too young for me to explain. But it's better for you to be upfront and just tell them what it is. But as I said, if I could sidetrack and go back, I would explain to my four everything that they need to know.
I mean, education is a wonderful thing because they're learning so much at school, which takes a lot from the parent away, doesn't it? You know, you don't have to go into detail. But even though
they learn it at school, they come home and ask you to get your reaction.
They know more than us now, you know, at probably 16 and 17.
Yeah.
But kids, where teenaging comes into me is where they want to express their own feelings and they want to move forward and do their own thing. And obviously there's right and wrong in what they can do. You're still in sort of control of, at that point, of them being a teenager, of what they are allowed to do up until a certain point, because you have to pull them back in, you know, most of the time. I mean, a typical teenager is, and we've all had it, Jen, you walk into the bedroom and it's like a cesspit. You know, you've given them a bin to put rubbish in,
come on,
and you're like,
Pat,
why are you not using the bin?
Pat, you're talking to a mother of two sons, you know.
Exactly, myself also. And you're like, why are the clothes on the floor? And these are all typical teenagers, and you know, this is what they are. They're still maturing, you know. It's always mom can pick this up, mom can do that. You know, I mean, you ask them, you can have a bowl full of washing up in there when your kids and teenagers. You can spot it, and it's like they've got no eyes. It could be there for 2 days, but you've all got to eat off the plate. Nobody, a typical teenager would not walk over to the sink and start washing up.
No.
Or emptying the bin.
I'll tell you what I used to have, Pat.
You have to actually negotiate with them to do something.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I used to have. I used to have, even now, my girls doing it. They'll eat, and I'll say, wash the dishes. They'll wash the dishes. They left the pot, the knife, the spoon, the fork in the sink. They'll only wash the plate, you know.
Oh my God.
They only wash the plate pot. Yeah. They left the pot in the sink. Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. So when I said wash the plate,
literally, you're washing a plate.
Yeah, and left the pot for me to wash.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And these are typical things that teenagers do, and it's all part of their growing up and their immaturity, because until they get to certain times in their life where they think they can, you know, that they're allowed to do a little bit more and, you know, get on with their own lives. But part of being a teenager is, I think, is rebelling against your parents.
Yeah.
You know, and why can't I do this, and you know, why can't I do that, the strops and everything, and coming through that as a parent is quite hard work, and you know, but it's all to do with the teaching and everything, but that's kids' immaturity. It ain't till later on in life that, you know, they realise that it's time to grow up a bit, and with some it takes longer than others.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no typical age of any child being a mature adult, is there? Because it can take years in the...
Yeah, and I don't know if you think the same as me, Pat, but I think that the way you react to your kids, the way you treat them, determine the way they turn out in later life.
Of course, Jen.
I think that if you some mothers really do, you know, handle their kids in a rough sort of way. They don't have the tolerance to, to bear with them. They seems to call them all sorts of name. And of course, when that same kids grow up, that kid seem he sort of rebellious, and he take it out on other kids, especially at school. You The same name that was called your parents, the parents was calling the child. He grew up, and even till adulthood, because that's what he knows.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to parents, that they have to be careful the way the way they talk to their kids, the way they raise their kids, because that determines in later life what the outcome of that child. Because if you grow up your child in a way where they look at other people and think that other people's beneath them, that's the way that child is gonna grow up, because that's what that child know.
Yeah, of course. It's about teaching values at an early age, isn't it, Jen?
Yes,
and actually teaching
you have to have the tolerance
they get to the teenagers, the stroppy.
You have to raise them in a way to say, look, that person is the same like you, and you're both equal, not I'm equal and you're nothing. You got to raise your child in the proper way, so that when the child grow up as well, even if there isn't a dad in the picture, mom isn't in the picture, at least someone inserts something in my head, and I can move forward. But you have to be careful the way you
teach them from early.
You have to be careful, because that determine the man and the woman that person grew up to be.
Yeah.
And
whether it be that, kids all develop differently and at different times, and some can.
Because
take up until you
have got some men and women in the 30s, and they still act childlike. They still act like a child. They do certain things like a child.
Yeah, and I'm not to just say this is men, but I think more men behave typically sillier than women sometimes. Do you not? I don't know, that might be controversial, but I do think typically, you've got more lads playing games all the time. It's hard to get a lad off a game, mate. If you was to say to a typical teenager, can you come down and even have your tea? It's 10 minutes later. Can I just finish saving this game or whatever?
Can I finish again? And even when they come downstairs, they go in.
Yeah. And so, I've got to a point where we're more childish. Sometimes I can revert back to being a child myself and doing stupid things, but I think that comes with getting older.
Even me, sometimes I wish that I was like 10 or even 15, and I don't have to have all these things going on in my head, this burden, like thinking about this and that and this and that. But some kids, they pray to grow up, and they don't know what's going on in the world.
No.
They pray to grow up and be an adult, but they don't know at the end of it what's gonna happen. You have got bills to pay, and so stay in school and learn, get a good education, because this world isn't. It can be a shitty world.
All it
sometimes.
looks, is it, Jen? All it looks, is it?
It can be shitty. So you listen to your parents.
Yeah, listen.
I know that sometime growing up, especially when you have a bit of hair coming on your little thingy, you think that you're a man or a woman, but no, you're still a child.
No, it takes years.
You
to
are
develop
still a child. Yeah.
Yeah, it does really.
So not because you have got a little bit of hair coming up at certain part of the body, you're gonna think you're gonna shout at your man because you think that you're a man or you're a woman. Come on, you're still a child.
So come on, teenagers, whether you be 13 or 18, 19, do something for your parents that you know that you
do something nice.
You've been taught, you've been raised well. If you've been raised well, you just give some thanks to what they've given you, and use some values of what you've been taught. So it is hard being a parent of teenagers.
Don't let a friend pressure you to do something that you don't want to do. Because if Pat tell me to jump off a bridge, I won't do it.
No.
because I know that at the end of it, my backside is gonna be mashed up. I'm gonna be mashed up, so I won't do it. So don't let no one talk you into doing something you don't want to do. If you're going somewhere, your friend doing something, walk away. Say, look, man, I don't want to get involved. Walk away. And in that note, you be safe.
That's
Listen to your
parenting from
parents.
Pat and Jen.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit anyway. So we're going to see you soon. We am going to record another video soon. And thanks for tuning in yet again. And
Thanks for
it's nice seeing you all.
yeah. Seeing who?
All of these watching us.
You seen them?
Yeah, we can see them.
But what a
Oh,
plonker.
we can eventually.
Well, if you are looking at me, hi, hello, bye.